Ben, how did you feel you bowled today? Are you happy with the performance?
Yeah, I was happy with the way the ball came out, and trying conditions, a bit slippery and a bit wet and a bit cold. But yeah, I was pretty happy with the way they came out, and on the first day as well.
Was it tough to get going in the field with cold conditions?
It was, yeah, but I've played a few years down here now with Sheffield Shield and one-day cricket, so I am getting used to it and slowly adapting if that's possible.
With a few injuries to the fast bowlers around the country, do you feel like you're a chance for the summer at some point?
To be honest, I haven't really thought about it. I came back from injury at the end of last season, so this is my first season back, and I'm just happy to stay on the park at the moment and do what I can for Queensland.
Have you received a message from selectors at any point with an update or anything like that?
I haven't, no.
We saw today, like you're known for having a good bouncer and sort of getting into batsmen and all that, but we saw today, you're pitching it up, moving the ball both ways, bowling, very consistently. Did you feel like, well, that was the way to get wickets on this deck, but also you gave the England guys a bit of a sharpening up?
I don't know if I was bowling that quick. I haven't seen the gun, but I think I only bowled one bouncer for the day today. Bowled a handful yesterday, but in saying that, I didn't bowl one to Alistair Cook, so I do pick my targets.
Yeah. And regarding you mentioned not hearing anything about this summer, but you've been pretty close a couple of times before. How did it feel at that stage to get, even to be in like a squad for Brisbane and get pulled out injured and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's a funny one because it's such an amazing high, but then the next day I was injured in an amazing low, or ridiculous low. So I missed a lot of cricket after that and dropped right down the pecking order, as I have done each time I've been injured. So the goal for me is just to stay on the park, and I know if I can stay on the park and put those performances together, that something will happen eventually.
Another thing that in recent times you've probably made as many headlines for your batting as anything else. Was it good, I suppose, to remind a few people that you can bowl a bit as well?
Oh, definitely, yeah. It was nice to get a few overs under the belt. That's probably the first time in 12 months that I bowled more than 10 overs in a day. On day one of this game, just because of injury and all the the short form format that I've had for Queensland and the Brisbane Heat the past couple of months.
Ben, it seems a few days ago now, but on the first day of the game, was it quite demoralising for Australia's second team, effectively, to go a whole day and not take a single wicket?
That happens from time to time. We did beat the bat, at regular times, regular intervals during the game, so there were opportunities there. But in saying that, they're world-class players, they're very good, and they batted very, very well in those conditions.
Carby's obviously a guy fighting for a test place. He impressed you?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I've never come across him before at all. A few of the boys that have played county cricket over there, I've played against him, but they said that he's a fantastic player and he's always doing that sort of thing back in England.
Did you think Joe Root looked a bit vulnerable when you were pitching it up to him?
I think there's just the conditions. There's a couple of nice cracks starting to open up. I'll really try to push him back and then try and hit him on the pad. Got close a couple of times, but in saying that, he's a very good player as well, and he doesn't miss out when you bowl a bad ball.
And just looking broadly, I suppose, across the bowlers around the country, do you think the depth's good, fast bowling?
I think the depth's very good, yeah.
You had the leg slip into trot, which we saw in England a bit last summer. Was that your idea, or was that the captain's idea?
Leading into this game, when I found out I was going to be playing, I spoke at length to Ryan Harris about bowling plans. He did so well over in England, I couldn't think of a better person to ring and talk to. So that was one of his ideas, and I decided to run with that and give that a go myself.
So it sounds like you can expect plenty more of that in the Ashes.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I was just wondering what almost your expectations are for the Ashes series. Obviously, all the Australian guys pretty well. How do you think it's going to go this summer?
I think our loss in England was probably a lot closer than the results showed over the 5 tests. So I think if we can put some good performances on the bird, particularly early on, and put some pressure on the English, I'd like to think that we can get up, but it is going to be a very close series, I think.
Conditions, though, will be different, perhaps more in your favour, or maybe in England we'll like the ball coming onto the bat. But the fact they're in your own backyard, does that make a big difference to you guys?
I think it does, yeah, particularly with our bowlers at the moment. Bowling's a big strength. We've seen how well Mitchell Johnston's bowling. He's bowling 150 plus k an hour and swinging the ball. That's going to be a handful whether you're on fast bouncy wicket or the lower and slow Adelaide Oval.